Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. The Ascension symptoms have increased quite a lot since we've entered into June. There have been so many beautiful energies coming through, and it's also caused an uptick in this experience for us. The dizziness and vertigo with lightheadedness kind of stuff has just become really pronounced for a lot of people. There's, in particular, the right side of our body, though a lot of people are noticing some areas in their left side. And the reason that this is an important thing is that the left side of your body is your divine feminine. So that's the spiritual, fit female side of your body. And then the right side is the divine masculine. Why does this matter? Well, we are both. No matter what gender you embody on this planet at this time, we are both. And for the longest time, there has been a limited amount of one or the other, and there hasn't been a complete ability to fully balance. And so that's what we're doing. We're balancing out a lot of this stuff. We're finding harmony and balance in our frequency. Speaking of, we are having bouts of depression as well as bouts of euphoria. And often this can make us feel kind of crazy, letting you know that, you're not crazy. We're all going through this. We're all having this happen. We're going through portals and energy frequencies that are pretty intense. And so it's amplifying our experience. The lightheadedness, loss of appetite. Some people noticing an increase in appetite, for the vast majority of us, it's loss of appetite. All of a sudden, just not having any desire to eat, or, maybe wanting to, but there's just nothing sounds good, that kind of a thing. And at the same time, we're having this sacral. So our three lower chakras, and they're not lower, they're just physically lower on our body. We have the root chakra, we have the sacral chakra, and we have the solar plexus chakra. These three chakras, often by us starseeds, don't typically get a lot of attention. And so these three chakras are now asking for it. And so we're having a lot of stomach stuff, lower body stuff, like even in the pelvis area, as well as while this is happening and we're balancing it. We're also noticing an uptick in unexplained and unexpected sexual release, when you're in the grocery store or something, and this is kind of an earmark of a Kundalini awakening, but there's also these other expressions of it where we're finally utilizing our root chakra in the way that we hadn't before. It sounds counterintuitive, though. When we ground, when we allow our root chakra to dig through the ground, then we can actually connect to the higher realms a lot easier, becoming a clearer channel, being able to astral project, and to do all kinds of awesome stuff that is already part of your makeup. Is simply just not being accessed at this time. The sensation of tingling and burning on the skin is really common. Not all at the same time, but sometimes both at the same time. The tingling I find is really fun. It's just kind of like I know that what's happening is I'm feeling the energy. We've always been able to feel it, just we don't perceived that sensation previous to now. And so this is kind of a fun experience. Along with the skin area, we're also having some discomfort, like rashes and weird red bumps. I had a example that I'll post here. That's just my picture of my knee. And it's just an example of these bumps that we get on our bodies. And there's so many of us that are getting them. They're kind of itchy. We want to call them acne, but they're truly not really acne. There are acne-like things that we're noticing as our body's purging. It's pushing out these toxins. Toxin is something that is just not in harmony with your body. It's not necessarily a poison. And so we're having this weird acne all over the body. There's other ways of purging too. Noticing frequent bathroom trips. A lot of us having a period of time in our lives where we're having IBS-like symptoms, as well as frequent trips and in other ways too. Noticing that you're not resonating with certain foods that you used to have, changing your diet, completely 180 in a lot of cases. My personal experience, I came in as a carnivore, and here I am, basically a vegan. If it wasn't for my occasional craving that I follow. That's another point too, is that we're having a lot of cravings that we don't tend to, it's not typical for us to have, and that's okay. That's your body saying it needs something, right? There's a mineral, a vitamin, some type of nutritional value that's found in that food that isn't found in your regular diet. Another way that we can get some of these minerals that we don't normally do is to go outside barefoot. Be on the ground with your hands. Touch your hands to the surface of the soil, the dirt, the sand, water. Allow yourself to connect outside. If you can't find those types of things, you can't touch a plant or hug a tree or something awesome like that, we can still do this on the concrete. It's just not quite as powerful, so it just takes a little bit longer. Doing this, the main purpose of it is for this grounding and just connecting to Gaia kind of energy. But then there's also this ionization process that happens. So we're full of all these negative, positively charged rather, ions that our body, it feels and sounds like buzzing. And it's just really like, and when we go and we allow ourselves to put our feet on the ground, then the positively charged ions leave, which is great, and then the negatively charged ions can then kind of take over the show, and things are a lot more in alignment. This is also done through the use of Epsom salt and other types of salts in the bath. You can do that in a foot soak, bringing soil into the house. There's a lot of methods of how we can do this. That will assist you in a lot of these things. So let's talk about some more of what's actually going on. These panic, anxiety waves of, woof, like, I don't know why I'm feeling impending doom. And to allow yourself to know you don't have to read into that. This isn't a warning. You're not being like, oh, get ready. It's this stuff coming through with all these people waking up right now. We are in flux. There's a complete everyone's at attention kind of thing, where before it was, a handful here and there of us awakened people, and then there became more and more, and now it's just like, boom, showtime. And so we're feeling a lot of these other individuals, which also has to do with this bouts of depression that we're sensing. The bouts of depression for me, I've only noticed it for a brief moment, knowing that it wasn't mine. I was able to send love to it. And what I mean by sending love to it is that in yourself, thinking about the moment that you are about to say I love you to someone that you do deeply care about, deeply love. And just that, how it comes right up here just before you say it. Allow yourself to bring it there and then send it to it. Direct that I love you energy to that. And it will propel it and keep it from affecting you as well. It's really cool. And while we're doing that, we're swelling it up in our body first. So we're getting the benefit before the other gets the benefit. So you're assisting yourself as almost like an energetic shield, as well as assisting it. So that's something that really does help as these bouts of depression move in and move through us. There's some stomach stuff that a lot of us are going through right now. And so let's talk about that for a moment. That's the sacral chakra area. We talked about stomach as well, or sacral chakra, as well as the solar plexus, the yellow, the golden yellow, as well as the sunset orange chakras. These two chakras have a lot to do with all the stuff that's going on right now. Like, this is creation. This is golden child Christ consciousness. This is manifestation. This is the reality before you that you are projecting and creating with the seeds that are the eyes. This is all happening at the same time. And so allowing yourself to kind of breathe through it and sending the light down into this space really does help. As a result of this stuff, this disturbance of this energy, this disturbance in the force, a lot of us are finding things like nausea, just upset stomach, it's not that great. Also feeling that where the esophagus meets the stomach, that spot, just as the stomach, that part of the stomach, there's some sensation there, as well as right below it as it enters into the intestinal region of your body. This part, there's a lot going on with the sacral chakra of this area. Solar plexus chakra of this area. And so allowing yourself to focus and bring a lot of yellow, golden colors into your life does help, as well as focusing the energy there. Other things that it helps a lot when we go through these things is that when we notice certain areas of our body, like shouting out and there's some kind of symptom there, often it's an underlying emotional distress that needs to be solved or healed rather. And it always isn't always to do with this incarnation, this time in this lifetime. Often it's your past lives as well as your ancestral healing. So your family, you know, out and out and out, as well as most of us. This is something that is just what we do. Most of us that are here to as these servants on this mission of liberating this planet into the light, we've come here and chose a whole bunch of trauma. We've chosen to have all kinds of abusive situations and different difficult things that we need to heal through. Because when we heal through that, we liberate all of those who weren't able to heal through it. What occurs is a person is born, and in that lifetime there is trauma. And then when that trauma is healed, then they're liberated. What has been going on, however, is that there's not been the ability to heal that in time before becoming a reincarnation again. And at that time, more trauma is added in order to direct attention to that so we can focus on that healing. And these individuals had been adding trauma and trauma and trauma to snowball it in such a way that they weren't able to heal it. And so we've come here to heal through it. So that's why when you're healing through these things, that last little bit feels like a big bump before you get to that plane of euphoria. That's that moment where you're healing for everyone else. You're healing for everybody else. What a servant you are. And I just honor you and thank you for doing this. There's so much more going on. We're having heart palpitations, we're having the ringing in the ear, we're having a lot of nerve pain, pinching nerve sensation in that spot, as well as all the way through the neck. A lot of throat chakra activation is happening right now. How many incarnations are we healing through having been limited in thought, in speech, in truth, in speaking your true authentic selves? Another example, a word that someone's used that I kind of understand, and because of the witch trials, has a lot to do with, you know, like some of us in the lifetimes of speaking the truth and been declared something that we're not or whatever, is they're calling it healing the witch's wound, you know, and male, female, whatever age you are, all of us have something about this. And so we're having this throat chakra opening up right now. So there's a lot of throat related stuff, the thymus, the thyroid, the teeth, a lot of dental and oral type stuff, trauma, as well as a variety of just all of a sudden finding that your teeth are in disruption and there's something that needs to be healed there. The jaw, right where the jaw meets the joint of the jaw right there by the ears. So there's a lot of activation happening right there, as well as through the ears and into the sinuses from the ears. So this space, I'm finding there's a lot of stuff. Headaches are being kind of annoying at this time. There's I would call it dull in most situations, though in some occurrences they're very strong, though I'm very grateful to say that they're fleeting as well. They don't last very long, which is great. So a lot of times it'll come in above the eye and it'll leave exactly straight from that there to the back of the head. It's just like woof. It's like a signal of electricity or something like that. There's the dull one that goes behind the eye, behind this eye, as well as behind this eye. A lot of headaches in the third eye right now. A lot of people are noticing this sensation. And then the last one that's the most persistent is the band. So we're talking about, it's like about this wide, and there's a band headache. It's very dull, very, it doesn't feel like it's really strong, but it's persistent. And often it's either one side or the other. We are, again, balancing our divine feminine, divine masculine frequency in these areas. And so the hemispheres of our brain are also doing this. And as they're completely healed, they move into the center and they cross, creating a Vesica Pisces. The Vesica Pisces liberates your third eye and often, too, creates a sensation of a headache there. This is good. So in meditation, if you would, choose to allow yourself to notice all of the stuff that's been removed from the third eye, from the pineal gland. This pineal gland just tends to have like a shell, like dried paint, but a single coat of paint that's just kind of peeling off, and guiding that that debris in your mind's eye in meditation down into your intestinal area for expulsion really helps. This way, it's not floating around in there and connecting to other things, and it won't cause any harm. It's just, I've noticed that often when we've not done that it creates like mild headaches here and there that don't need to occur. And so a lot of ear ringing. I already mentioned that, though the octaves have changed. Underwater ear on one side, ringing on the other. Switch often. We're seeing light orbs and things starting out from the corner of your eye. So you start to see movement. Sometimes it looks like a shadow. Just because it's a shadow looking thing doesn't mean it's bad. Feel in your heart, your resonance, your discernment here tells you what the energy's intention is. And you may also use whatever tool that you find the most impactful in order to declare what is acceptable and invited and what is not. And so we're also seeing an aura around an individual, a white, pale white aura around an entire form. Sometimes it's just around the head and shoulders. These individuals have already been there for you. They've been presenting themselves for quite some time, and often are individuals like archangels, higher beings of light that are here on your light team that are here to support you. And we're starting to slowly be able to see them. And as we see them, at first you notice the brightest part, which is their aura. And it shines so brightly that you can still see it even though it's faded. Other things about it is we're noticing focus coming in and out. This focus that's coming in and out appears like there's something wrong with our physical eyes. What's actually occurring is you're raising your frequency up to meet the same frequency as something else that's existing in that frequency. And so, but what we do is we tend to move like this, right? We don't go straight up. There's this is how we ascend. This is just what we do. And as we're doing that, we're noticing, I can see it, no I can't, now I can see it, kind of that's what's going on there. As well as a filament or a film leaving our eyes. This is something that usually occurs around the same time that this focus thing occurs. Feeling the tickly at the top of the head. The tickly is often someone or something saying, hello, you're here, I'm here, we're here to support you. You are loved. I love you all so much. Thank you all for the 3K. I'm just so honored to have as many individuals along with me on this journey. If you get a chance on Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we meet for 2 hours. It's a free Zoom meeting. I will post the link of that in the community section of this channel every single Thursday, except last Thursday because I didn't realize it was Thursday till it was Friday. And then you can find the new link there. This is a place to help you with your throat chakra, to be in a place where we talk about these things, where we can assist you and give you guidance and to be heard at last. I love you. Thank you for your service. Please don't give up. I know this depression moments right now it feels kind of intense, but know that it's temporary. You got this. You are needed at this time. For you to go at this moment would, aho, blessings.